I hope this video finds you well and you had a good holiday season, and that you will have a good New Year's today. Um, my holiday was kind of a holiday scramble. It was very on brand for 2020, but I got to do a lot of art, which was nice. Surprisingly, really, with how much running around there was. And it was actually like the whole of December. December didn't start off the greatest. I had a family member pass away and wasn't expecting that. It wasn't like 2020 related, but it was definitely, surprising for me at least. And so was dealing with the grief of that. But and then you know, every holiday season it seems like I have a tendency to get like a cold or an infection or something, and sure enough I ended up getting an ear infection. And my nieces and nephew, they ended up getting sick for Christmas Day, unfortunately. So we had a whole bunch of presents that we got them, and we didn't end up getting to see them open their presents because they were too sick. And I felt really bad. I really wish that they didn't have to deal with that on Christmas Day. But we got to do Christmas cookies, which was nice, except for with one of my nibblings was missing. They were at a friend's house, but those cookies that you got to see at the beginning of the video were my nieces and nephew. Their cookies that they decorated, which was really fun. And right here you can see me. Um, I'm rubbing off something called masking fluid, which is you put it down and then you put your paint over it. And then once you take off the masking fluid, it's white underneath, or whatever color is the underlying color before you paint over it. And before I started doing art again, I had never really even known that masking fluid was a thing. I love it. I absolutely love it. It reminds me of when I was a kid and I would take Elmer's glue and put it in my little like pencil slot in my desk. Like it was like this circular kind of like rectangular indent for your pencils, and I'd put the Elmer's glue there, let it sit for like overnight, and then peel it off, and I had a bookmark that I could decorate. So it kind of brought me back to my childhood a little bit there, and it's fun. It's like sticky and goopy and something fun to do, but it's not like gross. And the card that I'm working on now was inspired. I've never even really thought about making trees with snow on top of them, like snow-capped trees. But I remembered, I believe it was either my dad's mom, so my grandma, or my nana, had made a nativity scene, and I got to have it as a kid. And they had these plastic trees and like white goop on top of it that made it look like realistic AF. um, and it was so cool to see. And so I was super excited to kind of try and like bring that out in the painting from like what I remember when I was a kid. It was really cool. They did an amazing job, and I'm extremely lucky and fortunate that they had done that, and like that I was allowed to have that in my life as a child. Um and I was so excited about this that I think you can probably see on the left tree there's kind of like a little bit of a shadow over the snow. I got too excited and started wiping away the masking fluid before the paint had dried. So there's a nice green skid mark there. Um, but it's all good. It was unfortunately I didn't send any of these Christmas cards out. like I said, very on brand for 2020. Was running around like a chicken with our head cut off, and it just didn't happen. But you know, people that I would have sent it to, they all know that I love them and cherish them. So, worst case scenario, it was just good practice for art, so that was nice. And as you can see here in these close-ups, the bottom right one was actually me practicing with the masking fluid on the other side of the paper because the watercolor paper has bumps for the watercolor and the other side is smooth. And I was having issues with the masking fluid making rips. So I definitely found out that you can just do the masking fluid and the watercolor fairly well on the smooth side. And then the other three are cards, and you can see the bottom left one was the first one I did with writing stuff. And you can't see it very well. So I started practicing with putting stencils down and then painting around it to do some little sayings and practicing some sayings on there and stuff. Not the best, but again, it was some good practice, and I hope that this video either inspired you guys or just gave you some entertainment for a couple of minutes. And I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next video. Um, I definitely was backlogged with a whole bunch of art that I did, so there's going to be a couple videos probably post back to back. So I'll see you in a bit.